I messed up, guys. Now, to give you some context, this video, as you can see by the title, is in relation to some comments I made in a recent video based on a post that Card Porn made. To give you some context, it's in relation to this individual incident that occurred, I think around this time last year, actually. And this is from, Diary of a Pro Gambler, who is an individual that does sports betting tips specifically for UFC, does analysis and things like that. He did some box breaks on the side, and there was a video he put out where looked like there was 4 cards in a pack, and the packs went off camera. The setup was quite dodgy, and it looked like he stole a card. It's what the video looked like, right? And the video was pretty damning. So Card Porn did a post on that, and then from the back of that, the whole hobby, started talking through to the same thing because it was pretty damning. It was quite popular at the time. So a lot of people have seen this, and off the back of it, this individual, I forget his name, but Diary of a Pro Gambler, this individual and his wife and his family and friends actually copped a lot of heat on social media at the time. Like, I never liked people doing that in the first place, but he looked like a scammer. And I think if you watch the video too, you'll probably have that same assessment. But when I did this post initially, I didn't really have a big following. I don't have a big following now, but nobody really saw it, right? I just commented on what Card Porn posted. And then the other day, or the other month, I should say, it'll pop up on the screen, this video where I spoke about sports card breaks and the dark side of it. I mentioned this video in passing where you've got people that have these sort of cowboy setups that, maybe unethical and they're there to rip you off. And he saw that and he got, I guess, a bit upset. Not at me, but like he said he was a fan of the channel. So when he saw him get called out in a video, he was like, holy heck, why is this person talking about me? So he sent me a detailed post on Instagram with a few links to some things that I'll play for you in a second. And having watched them and, sat on them for a couple of weeks, I'm probably, more leaning to the fact that this guy probably deserves a benefit of the doubt. He mentions he's reached out to Card Porn with the same information. They haven't done a follow-up on this, and I'm curious to see why. I've reached out to them on Instagram to see what they say, but the video will be already filmed before then, so I won't get to see what they say, but I'm curious to know what their thoughts are on this as well. So it's just pretty disappointing that you have things like this, and then people get caught out death threats and all that sort of stuff, and this guy's life's almost ruined, right? Because people were trying to cancel him in that sense, calling employers and things like that, abusing his wife. That stuff is not on. That's unacceptable, okay? Even if he was a scammer, you don't sort of do that stuff, okay? Just don't use them as a business if you're not happy with them. Don't go beyond, right? Don't go to that next level, because that's when things get a bit disappointing to see. And the reason why I want to make this video is because I think it's probably just a lesson to myself, and maybe for some of you out there as well. Don't be so quick to jump in on what you see on social media, because there's probably more information out there. Yes, in the message he sent me on Instagram, he says, you know what, I don't judge you for making those comments, which is fair, because if I was to see the video myself, I'd probably agree with you. But here's a bit more information that maybe tells me that I'm innocent. So to give you some context, this is the video in question, and he talks through, how the pack's difficult to open. He pulls it open, takes the cards out, and then he realizes there's 4 cards in the pack. Okay, and as you saw there, cards went off camera. Like, he's got the main camera looking down. The cards went off, so that's a huge mistake on his part, right? And if he is innocent, that's one way to shoot himself in the foot. But if he were to look at this on face value, you'd say, well, this guy's been a bit dodgy, right? He took a while to open the pack. Was he looking in the pack? Did he somehow slip the 5th card out? Did he take the 5th card out now when he went off camera? There's all these questions that can sort of, justify you questioning him in this instance, okay? But he sent me a few links that, like I said, he sent the Card Porn. They haven't mentioned it, but I'm curious to understand why. But to give you some context as viewers, there's a video here where you've got someone else opening a pack of Select, okay? So you can see this stays in frame the whole time, okay? This is from Brett Rips.
Killing it. Honor. There, 4 cards. And no, it's not like that fucking street.
So you can see that they also got 4 cards in the same product of Select UFC, Select 2021, okay? Now this is an unlisted video on Diary of a Pro Gambler's YouTube page that he sent me, but he's made an hour-long video. I'll go to that in a second, where you can see this in detail as well. So now we have, 2 examples of an individual having 4 cards in a pack of Select. And we can 100% confirm that this one was untampered with, because the pack stayed on camera the entire time. Okay, so we know for a fact there's at least 1 pack out there. Given that there's 1 pack out there, and given Panini's quality control issues, do we anticipate that it's unlikely for a second pack in the world to exist with a card missing? Probably not. I think it's probably fair to say maybe this individual did have only 4 cards in that pack. Now go one step further. His video said it was not the best, but what he talks about is, you can see, and this is a still image taken from that video I showed you a bit earlier. He goes into detail. You can see when he slides the cards out of the pack that he's holding one end, they separate, and it looks like the cards on the top and the bottom are even. It looks like the same number of cards. Yes, there is motion below here. It's hard to see because the camera setup's not the best, but that looks fairly even. In his hour-long video, he talks in a few more steps on that and shows, okay, maybe, or it gives substance to the fact that there is 4 cards in there, is what I'm trying to say. So seeing this, it's like, okay, well, now that we know there's a pack out there that only has 4 cards in it, and this one here looks like those 2 stacks are even, do we give him the benefit of the doubt? I think we do have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think there's enough questions out there to leave things undecided. You know, he could be a scammer at the end of the day, and this just happened to find, luckily, another example of somebody only getting 4 cards in a pack, and when he has shown it on camera, the cards, before he takes the pack out, he just happily got lucky enough that the cards look even in the still shot. Like, I think there's enough questions out there, and often when you have, you know, like crazy situations like this, the simplest outcome is often the right outcome, and I think in this instance, he's just unlucky. I think that's fair to say. He could be a scammer, like I said a bit earlier, I don't know if I did, where maybe that pack was resealed by someone else that he bought the box off, or himself before he did the stream, which is why it was so difficult to open it. Maybe he's already removed the hit. Who knows? You'll never know for sure, purely because he's got this crappy setup, and that shot him in the foot. And this is why, if you want to get into breaking, you can't be doing this sort of stuff, right? You need to cover your ass 1,000%. You cannot let any question get raised, because the second a question gets raised, you're almost like shit out of luck, right? So I just didn't feel comfortable having my video out there, even though I touched on it briefly. I just wanted to give the clarified thoughts now that he sent me this information, just because I think it was the right thing to do. So I'm really keen to hear your thoughts now. Now, in his hour-long video that I'll also put down below, he goes through everything in detail, including those 2 unlisted videos. He'll show them in this video, so you can sort of watch that in your own time and then make up your own mind. I'm not here to sway you either way. Like I said, I just wanted to clarify my opinion on this, because I felt a bit bad, because I do think this guy is being genuine. And you watch this video, and I think he seems like a really nice guy. He's an awkward dude. I'm an awkward dude. I think that goes to why he's talking a bit funny in the video, where he's a bit shocked. I think he's like nervous for being on camera. Like, I'll tell you this up front, right? If you go back and watch in my earlier videos, if you think I talk well now, you go back to how I spoke back then. I was so nervous when I was talking on camera. Sometimes when you're talking, you're presenting things, your mind goes a million different ways. So that's why you forget to say things and you act a bit differently, because you're just awkward, and it's a different thing to try and do, right? And I think maybe goes to why he was a little bit awkward himself, because he was freaking out. And then the other thing I want to quickly touch on is a story that Cardporn posted following this, right? Where a follower of Cardporn sent these 3 screenshots to them, basically said, you know, when you see the cards go on his top-down camera, you'll see that the cards look really thick. It's really thick, and then you see it again, you know, a couple of seconds later, and the stack is, you know, really thin. So you can see here, it's like they're saying it's thick, and then all of a sudden the card's back on camera and they're thin. What he explains in the video, he puts it down to motion blur. Like, I think based on what he explains when he talks about the top-down camera view, I think you lean more towards the fact that it is motion blur. There is definitely no cards that get switched out unless he's like some David Blaine thing like he mentions. And what's interesting here is, like, this shape that you're seeing here in the bottom camera is actually what you see when he first pulls the cards out of the pack on the face cam. So he either had to, you know, have a card missing when he took it out of the face cam, puts it back in when he shows it top down, and then takes it out again when he goes backwards. I think that's a bit far-fetched. So I think it's just a bit weird. I believe him personally, so I'm keen to get your thoughts on this once you look into it yourself. So please watch the video, come back and share that with me. Like I said, I just didn't feel comfortable having that viewpoint out there when this information was out there. I wanted to bring that to your front of mind, because that's what I'm here to do, right? I'm not somebody that's here to, you know, call people out when they do bad things. Like, yes, I will do that, but if they do good things, I'm going to call that out as well. And at the same time, if I make an uneducated guess or I say something that's wrong, I'm not going to hide behind that. I'm not one of these people that are going to try and make myself look good all the time. If I make a mistake, I'm going to say I make a mistake, right? I'm here to educate people. I'm here to help you all. I'm here to talk and chat and talk about the hobby that we love, right? So that's why I've done this follow-up. You can't begrudge me for that too much, I hope. And I hope that, you know, speaks to the honesty of myself and helps you understand, like, the type of person I am, right? Because I just don't feel comfortable having this out there. So let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I'm very curious to hear back from Cardporn. I'm not sure if they're going to see this video, if they even care about me, to be honest. I don't think they do, because I'm like a nothing channel, tiny. But I want to understand if they've looked into this detail and what their thought process was. Because he makes a few damning statements about them. Like, yes, I can understand where he's coming from, because he's really pissed. Because from his perspective, if he is innocent, you know, the hate that he got, the hate that his wife got, the hate that his family and friends got was disgusting, and it's unacceptable. Even if he was a scammer, like I said a bit earlier, nobody deserves that sort of stuff. So from his perspective, when he's gone back to Cardporn and maybe some other channels to say, listen, guys, this is what's actually happened, and nobody speaks to him and everybody ignores him, you can understand why he's so angry in this video. So don't judge him for that, because I think he's got a right to do so. So I'm curious to understand, you know, what Cardporn's view are. That's sort of it. Thank you for watching. Like I said, please share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you've looked into this matter yourself, if you've seen these follow-up videos, what your thought process is, go back, watch it, come back to me, and let me know. Again, I do apologize because I do think I was wrong. I think this guy deserves the benefit of the doubt. I'll never know for sure whether he's 100% innocent or guilty, but I think there's enough doubt there to, you know, give him comfort that he is innocent. So it is what it is. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.